The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
It happened that there was a man full of leprosy in one of the towns where Jesus was. And when he saw Jesus, he fell prostrate, pleaded with him, and said, "Lord, if you wish, you can make me clean." Jesus stretched out his hands, touched him, and said, "I do will it, be made clean." And the leprosy left him immediately. Then he ordered him not to tell anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer for your cleansing what Moses prescribed, that will be proof for them. The report about him spread all the more. The great crowds assembled to listen to him and to be cured of their ailments. But he would withdraw to deserted places to pray. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Somebody said or shared about their dilemma with regard to a member of their family who is now infected of COVID, and they decided to do a home care rather than bringing the person to the hospital. But there was a disagreement among themselves because somebody said, "What if everyone will get infected? What if everyone will get infected? Bakit hindi na lang ipadala sa hospital?" Of course, at this time it is very difficult due to the people who are lining up for confinement. That is one of the reasons. And the second one, I asked what could be done in the hospital that cannot be done at home at this point in time. Sabi, yun nga, kung pwede namang gawin sa bahay, bakit hindi gawin sa bahay? Ang problema lamang ay meron nagsasabing dapat alisin yan kasi o ipadala yan dahil baka tayo ay mahawang lahat. Wala itong pinagkaiba doon sa isang nag-message din na kung saan galit na galit siya dahil yung nanay nila ay biglang dinump. The word that was used by the person was dump doon sa kanyang apo dahil natatakot sila na sila ay mahawa. So, ang ginawa na lang nitong isang anak, kinuha na lang at sa bahay na lang pinatira. My dear friends, my brothers and sisters, last year, our mentality was, huwag akong mahawa. Hopefully this year, our mentality is, hindi ako makahawa. Hindi ako makahawa. Hindi mo na alam kung sino ang infected ngayon. Maraming asymptomatic na maaring infected. I even consider myself with infection, because of my contact with the people who was infected. Ang laman ng isip ko ay, huwag ako makahawa. Masama ba ang pakiramdam ko? Hindi. Pero, dapat ang pag-iisip mo ay hindi selfish. Ano? Hindi naman natin sinasadya yung readings. Yun talaga ang mga readings today. Ano pa? That we only not think of ourselves. The worst love is selfish love. Self-preservation. When things are not doing well, when the world is not in good shape, I have learned this from my former spiritual director. Between right and wrong, it is you always choose what is right. But do not forget to choose the most loving thing to do. The most loving thing to do. If you are in a dilemma at this point in time, you choose the most loving thing to do. Kagabi, may nag-message, sabi niya, intubated na si mama. And I do not know, sabi niya, what will happen. Iniisip ko rin, Father, how are we going to pay for the bills? All of these things are real. Totoo ito. Totoo ito. When my mother was hospitalized due to COVID, the same stress, the same problem, the same concern. Totoo lahat ito. And when you are not in the situation, we are too quick to judge. Palagi naman yan ang kwento. Pag hindi ikaw ang involved, ang bilis mo magsalita, ang bilis mo mag-comment. But regardless, let's hold on to this. If you are in a dilemma, choose the most loving thing to do. What is the gospel in the readings trying to tell us? What is the gospel? Who can testify about you as a person, not only as righteous, but loving? Who will testify? The first reading speaks of God being, of what testifies the glory, perhaps the God in Jesus. The water, the blood, the Spirit. The water, the blood, and the Spirit. We are Catholics because of being baptized in the water. But are we going to share in the martyrdom with the blood? We receive the Spirit. But do we act accordingly? I have shared this many times. In the table of the Lord, many would like to partake of the bread, but very few will partake of the cup of suffering. Many have partaken, I would say, of the bread, but very few would embrace and partake the cup of suffering. And perhaps that is the challenge. What is the gospel trying to tell us? It's so easy for us to testify, to speak, to grumble when we suffer. Yan ang issue ng marami sa atin. Pag tayo nahihirapan, talagang hindi mapigilan ang ating mga kalooban. Lumalabas ang pagkataon, ang tunay na pagkataon ng mga na sino man kapag sila ay talagang nalalagay sa kahirapan. Ang hamon ng Ebanghelyo ay ano? If you are blessed and healed, naninikluhod. If you will it, Lord, if you will it. And he was healed. And when he went out proclaiming. Ito yung dalawang kwento na magandang pagtuunan ng pansin. Pag tayo ay nahihirapan, napakadali natin magkwento ng ating kahirapan. Pero pag tayo ay nagtagumpay, iilan lang talaga ang nagkukwento ng kanilang tagumpay. Kahit naman sa mga pamisa, ang daming pamisa na sabi nga ng mga problema, ng mga sakit, ng mga kung ano-ano, prayer requests. Pero how many among them that made me wonder, how many among them have been healed, whose prayers are granted, who has been now successful, who have passed the exams? How many among them? Na muling tumawag at magpapamisa po kami para po sa pasasalamat. Ganon talaga ang pagkatao. I think that's the normal course. But the invitation is hopefully we become a person who is more grateful rather than complaining. We become a person who is more grateful than complaining. My dear friends, my brothers and sisters, truly I say to you, you will get infected. I pray that it will not be severe. In due time, you will get infected. Because ganun talaga. Ganun talaga. But as I've said in the very beginning of the year, only those with the right attitude will thrive in this crisis. Only those with the right attitude will thrive in this crisis. Malungkot na kwento. You survive by being selfish. That could be a sad story. That could be a sad story. Choose the most loving thing to do. And allow the Spirit, allow the water, allow the blood to testify how loving you are. Amen. Like many old people, ayaw nilang sila'y maging pabigat sa kanilang mga pamilya. Kung makakalakad yan at makakaalis ng bahay, para hindi kayo mahawa, magkukusay ang umalis out of love for you. My dear friends, my brothers and sisters, it is a grace, I would say. Pray for that grace.